Hey everyone, this is Mike from Real Life Counseling, and today I'm going to talk about counseling versus coaching. Um, I've been talking about different theories and different issues that people deal with, but what is the difference between counseling and coaching? I primarily do individual counseling. Sometimes I'll do couples counseling. Very often, when I see children or adolescents, I will closely work with the parents. I think parents have a crucial role to play, and I like to meet with parents at least periodically. So it's more of a quasi family, although it's not traditional family where the whole family is around. But my primary counseling is individual counseling. But I also do coaching. And so, what's the difference between the two? Well, there's a lot of overlap, and people aren't even sure themselves. I'll try to explain some of the differences. So, with counseling, most people come in and they're in pain. They have what could be considered a diagnosable condition, even if they don't diagnose. There's the psychological, psychiatric diagnostical and statistical manual, the DSM, which is kind of like the Bible for therapists, and insurance companies require it. So many people that come in for therapy could potentially meet one of those criteria, whether or not you diagnose them or not, they could. And that's why they're coming in. There's a lot of people that could meet the criteria for one of these conditions. There's so many these days, but they're not coming in for that reason. So a therapy client will come in for a particular reason. They're in pain, they're suffering, they have some kind of dysfunction going on in their life, and they're coming in to resolve that. Basically, they're coming in from a place that's lower than they want to be, and getting them to equilibrium, getting them to where they're no longer in pain. So this would be the norm, and they're below the norm. Sometimes coaching is viewed as taking them from the norm to the much higher. So they're already coming in pretty functional, and now they want to take it to the next level. So they don't really have a problem. They're not in pain. They're not in emotional pain. They're not grieving. They don't have a dysfunction. They're highly functional, but they're not as effective in an area of life where they want to be. So coaching also helps them take it to the next level. To improve their performance. Not necessarily to fix something that's broken, but to take what's already going well and make it even better. Usually, counseling can, at least in part, be past-based. What are some of the things that happened in the past that are troubling you? And sometimes, even if you're dealing with the present, we bring the things from the past into the present that causes some problems and obstacles. Coaching is very often future focused, setting goals, holding clients accountable. There's a much more collegial nature between coaches. It's like you're there on their job. That's why there's career coaches. Sometimes corporations hire coaches, and you're colleagues basically. You're joining together as almost equal colleagues, helping each other to improve your career, or for life coaches, things that you want to do with your life. With counseling, there's more professional, there's more boundaries. It's a little bit more strict. You're not necessarily collegial. It's more like a professional client or professional patient relationship. And definitely you're bringing things from the past that really have caused perhaps some serious issues, some trauma, some deep pain that you've brought into the past. So there is some overlap. Solution-focused counseling definitely deals with focusing on not what's wrong, but what's going right. A lot of therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy and reality therapy deal with what's going on now. We're not going to spend that much time in the past. We're going to focus on, we'll talk about it a little bit, but then we got to focus on how to make things better now and in the future. So there definitely is some overlap. But the biggest issue is that people that are coming in for coaching do not necessarily have a diagnosable condition, that's why they're coming into coaching for, or this real deep pain, and they're suffering, and they've got this psychological issues, and they're really troubled. That's usually not who comes in for coaching. And usually coaching, it can be ongoing, but usually it's more short-term, where therapy can be short-term, but it can be more of an ongoing relationship. So again, there's still some overlap in both of those. But you can do both. You can actually have individual or any kind of counseling for deeper emotional issues, whatever emotional pain you're in, whatever condition, depression, anxiety you may be suffering from, and have a coach to improve your career, or maybe certain things in your life you want to be more organized. And get things done in certain other areas. So they can definitely be both used simultaneously. They don't cancel each other out. So that's the difference, broadly speaking, between counseling and coaching. Again, I know it's a little confusing because there is quite a bit of overlap. But there are some differences as well. All right, if you like this video, hit like. If you'd like to sub, please do. Any comments, I'll respond to all comments. And if you want notifications, please hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. See you next time. Thanks.